Hi everyone, this is a video from outside my studio because I want to show you the first stage of building my home studio from the ground up, literally from the ground up. I had a couple other videos that I had done as I was actually working on the land, digging and shoveling and so on, but unfortunately somehow they got deleted. Anyway, that happens when I'm using the camera for lots of reasons. So, but that's fine. It was just me digging anyway, nothing there. So what I wanted to show you today very quickly is the location of my home studio. And basically, there used to be an old shed there, which I will put a photo right here. As you can see, there was an old shed. Now I had to remove that. It was very old. And the idea is for me to build from the ground up, so they'll be in the next couple of weeks they'll be leveled up and a slab poured in. Then I'm gonna physically build the construction, so you'll have soundproofing and as well as acoustic treatment inside once I finish the inside. So and I will video, and I try to make sure that I don't delete any scenes as I video them, and you'll be able to see the progress of how I'm actually building it, how I'm actually making it soundproof as well. That's really important because I don't want to annoy my neighbors with some music. Having also said that, it will be twice as big as my current studio in my house. And it will allow maybe even a band, the drum set to be set up and to be able to be played. So yeah, it'll be really good. It'll have all the facilities. At the moment it's just sort of laid out, getting ready to be formed and slab poured in. So I will try to video those procedures as well. I won't be doing the pouring of the slab, obviously, or the concrete. But I'll video that. But once the concrete is laid out, after that it's all in my hands, because soundproofing is something special and not every builder knows how to soundproof it, and everybody has their own ideas which don't match the one that I know that actually works. So I thought I'll have to do it myself. Hopefully I will be able to do it, and in the process I will explain what I'm trying to do. And if you guys get a chance to build your own from ground up, then this will be a good example that you can follow and build your own studio if you've got the space. I'm just lucky I've got the space in my backyard. We never use our backyard, hardly ever, so it'll be put to some use. So catch you later. Okay, the date is 27th of August 2016 and I finally have some formwork being done for the slab to be poured in. It's been a long wait to get the tradesman to come in and do it, because this is something that out of my hands I won't be able to do any concreting. I don't think I've got the muscle and the manpower to actually do it. So yeah, it's gonna be poured in sometime in the next few days. I'm hoping that I'll be able to capture that. Otherwise there will be a video of it all finished up and ready for the rest of the framework, the timber frame, to go up. I'm hoping that I'll be doing that bit. Hi guys, just an update on the progress of my home studio. Today is the 3rd of September 2016 and it's been a couple of days since I actually have my slab poured in. So finally it's actually progressing through, and soon I'm gonna start actually building on it. Not sure if I'll be able to do the whole lot by myself, because it is a lot of work and I'm not a carpenter, and I'm not sure about the work that's got to go through in it, but I am designing it and I've been AutoCADing all of the framework. It's going to be timber framework. Obviously soundproofing is one of the major things that I need to consider, so that outside noise doesn't come in. So when I'm doing recordings, I get clean sounds, even though we are a quiet neighborhood here, but every now and then we do get a plane flying over, one of those small planes. They're a bit noisier than the jet planes. The jet planes are further away from this area. You can just hear it now. So but anyway, so I'll show you later on the progress of my designs and how I'm going to achieve the soundproofing. I have been in contact with some people about soundproofing techniques and see how it all goes. Yeah, so that's how far I've gone so far. Even though for the size of the building that I'm actually constructing for my home recording studio is smaller than the local government's requirement for any approval, which is 20 square meters. So if I was building any bigger than 20 square meters, I would have to submit design plans into the local council for it to be approved before I can actually construct and build it. So my construction is below that threshold of size, but I still thought it was a great idea and very important for me to draw up the plan from every angle, because I'm not, I don't have much experience constructing things. I'm not a carpenter, but and I thought drawing it all up, I'd be able to see it visually how it will finish up, so that when I do start constructing it, it'll be like a step-by-step plan that I can follow, so that there minimises the mistakes that I can do as I constructing the building. Because any mistakes in the drawings that I can see, I can fix it with a click of a mouse. If anything I need to change because it doesn't fit, I can fix it with a click of a mouse. Anything I need to add or remove, I can use it with a click of a mouse and maybe a key on the keyboard. But once the construction starts and I start cutting timber to size to fit and it's wrong, that wastes the whole timber and I need to purchase more timber. So I thought it was absolutely critical important for me to draw the plans for my home recording studio that's going to go on that slab. Now, very briefly, with the design, after much research, I thought the best way to soundproof my home studio so that I don't get any outside noise coming in while I'm recording. At the same time, any sound that's being generated inside, like a drummer playing, a bass guitar playing, or guitarist playing, or me mixing and mastering a song, I don't want to annoy the neighbors, and vice versa. That's the whole plan. And after much research, I discovered that the most effective option is what they call is room in a room. So I have my outside timber framing and wall, then with a small gap, in my case about 40 millimeters of gap, I am building another frame and wall inside it. So this way, both walls having insulation will actually minimize any noise transfer and have the highest noise isolation. And at the same time, we will also have obviously internal and external doors, so 2 airtight sealed doors, so that there's no air movement between each of them. So this, because you need the 2 doors to stop the sound coming through, just like you have the 2 walls. And very briefly to go through, so I have my wall, and which is a fiber cement, this blue one here, that one there, and then underneath that one, between the frame and the outside fiber cement wall cladding, I have 8mm thick special wrapping, foil wrapping material that not only stops any moisture coming in, so it has thermal insulation as well as some noise dampening characteristics. And after that, there's the timber frame, and between the studs of the timber frame, I have Soundscreen R2.5 rated sound insulation. And the same thing happens in the internal wall as well. There is Soundscreen earth wall insulation before about 16 millimeters of special acoustic gyprock or drywall that's gonna get attached. So there's quite a lot of dense materials for the sound to come through. Now, another technique that I have found, which will minimize any low frequency sound coming out or coming in same time, like a big truck passing by, you get that low frequency, is to have my studs apart by 600 millimeters to the center. So my studs, like these studs here between each one, are 600 millimeters apart. Normally they are 450 millimeters apart to the center, but I've done 600, and the reason for that is the further apart the studs are, the more isolation of the lower frequency is absorbed. Just like, think of it this way as the drums, where you have smaller toms will, in size, will actually have higher frequency, where your toms, especially let's say the floor tom, which is bigger in diameter, the lower frequency is generated. And it's generated because when you hit the surface of the tom, that vibrates and creates the sound and gets passed on. So it's the same principle here, where having 600, that means lower frequency will pass on into the sound insulation for both walls. That means lower frequency will be absorbed much better than having the 450 mil stud separation between the 2 studs. So if we have a look here, So when we're looking between the two studs, it's actually 600 on average. I mean, I gotta have some, that's 600 there. I guess, you know, because of the sizing, some, not all are 600, but when we look at the right elevation, again, you can see they're all 600s. So that's one other thing that important that will help lower frequencies to be absorbed, so bass won't slip out of my studio or come in. So very briefly, looking at the front, as you can see, that's my doorway of the first door. There's lots of earth wool sound screen insulation everywhere. I also have some plywoods applied on both sides of the door, because the door is going to be solid door and heavy, probably 45 millimeters thick, and it will be sound or airtight sealed for soundproofing. So because they're going to be heavy, these plywoods on each side of 12 millimeters in thickness will actually hold the framing of the door in place, so it's not going to twist like a trapezoid and stop the doors from opening and closing. So that's why those plywoods are there. And if we look at the plywood down here, as you can see, there's my plywood there. Behind the plywood, again, there's still insulation. And I'm also using 4 stud corners to make it not only solid frame corner, but at the same time so that it's really stable and there's no air gaps. It's all filled in. So yeah, so that's about it. That's how far I am. This plan also will allow me, or has allowed me, to actually calculate how much timber I need, how much wall cladding I need, how much insulation I need, and how much gyprock I need, what sizes I need, and all of that. So it was really helpful. So even if you are designing your home studio, you want to make it soundproof in an existing room in your own house, you mean maybe your bedroom or a spare room that you want to convert, make it soundproof, it is always a good idea to plan it out, get all the measurements, plan it out, and before you actually start working. That way, any changes you need to do, it's quite easy to do, because you'll be able to see it, fix it by a click of a mouse. Till next time.